What's up, B Squad? It's your boy JB, and I am here today. So I'm gonna be solo today, you guys. But this is Beyond the Gates. This is week 12 of Beyond the Gates, and this is going to be episodes 50 through 54. So if you guys did watch this week's episodes, let me know what you guys thought about them down in the comments section, you guys. And if you are in the live chat, then let me know how you guys felt about it. Overall, I think that this week it was a good week. Do I have any complaints about this week? Honestly, I don't feel like I have any complaints. And I'm gonna come on camera in just a second, you guys. So give me just a minute, and I'll come on camera so you guys can see me. But again, like I said, this week is just me. Really B will be back next week, and next week she and I will discuss this week's episodes that's coming up, and then the week that we missed. So that's really what I got. But yeah, like I said, good week. We were also introduced to our new Ted this week, so I definitely want to know what everybody thought about the new Ted. Like I said, I've if you watch Dreamgirls, you know him. If you are a Power Rangers fan like I am, you know him as well. So yeah, overall, like I said, pretty solid week. I can't complain about Beyond the Gates this week. I don't know if we talked the last time I was on camera. I don't know if we talked about the fact that Beyond the no, we hadn't talked about it because it hadn't happened at that time. So congratulations are definitely in order to the cast, the crew, and everybody because Beyond the Gates got renewed for a second season. So we're gonna be getting a season 2 of Beyond the Gates, which I'm really excited about and really excited to see where it goes. What's up, Universal Soul God? Universe Soul Goddess. He says, I think I'm going to miss Turtleneck. Oh, excuse me, y'all. You're gonna miss Turtleneck Ted's deep voice. Yeah, I'm gonna miss him. And I'm wondering with them recasting Ted, like what was which there's a lot of different, you know, theories out there about why they recast Ted. I know some people feel that they recast Ted because there were some issues between he and Daphne, who plays Nicole. I don't know what it is. I will say I am curious if they were possibly going in a direction. Maybe they want to go younger with Ted. Like I'm curious to see what they were what their thought process was. But for me, I will say I do like him so far. He came in on Thursday, I believe it was. And so Thursday and Friday we saw him. I think he did a good job. Nitwit says I'm so behind. Only saw Friday's episode. Yeah, I actually just finished Friday's episode. So don't feel bad because that's why I didn't do it yesterday because I was a whole week behind. So I'm gonna try to get better with watching the episodes. If I don't watch it live, my goal is to watch it on Paramount Plus that night, so that way I'm not scrambling at the end of the weekend trying to watch all 5 episodes. I think I got used to for the 2 weeks that we had where it was only 3 episodes during the week, and so I got myself behind with that. But overall, this week was good, minus the exception of seeing Derek and Ashley this week. I was like, oh God, why are Derek and Ashley here? Like when I saw Derek and Ashley pop up on my actually whatever episode Derek and Ashley finally popped up, I watched them. But then after that episode, I think they appeared on Thursday's episode as well. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. Anything from Thursday's episode with Derek and Ashley, I can't tell you because I skipped through their scenes. I literally skipped through the scenes with Derek and Ashley on Thursday. So if you guys want to piece together what happened, tell me in the comments in the live chat because I don't know. Like I really truly don't know what happened with Derek and Ashley on Thursday. So we'll start up with Monday. Now you guys remember the week prior, it ended with Crazy Lady, Dana, Leslie, Sherry, Lulu, and Anna. They went to go talk to Nicole, right? I will say one thing about her. She's very bold in the things that she does. And what I also will say is people still had this running theory that Eva and Kat are twins. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna tell anybody that I'm not gonna say that anybody's wrong when it comes to Eva and Kat being twins. Me personally, I just don't see it. I don't see it, right, you guys, because how can they? Here's the thing. It's possible that they could be twins. Hey, Kimmy Kim, it's possible that they could be twins, right, you guys? It is very possible. But the question that I then pose is, if Eva and Kat were twins, how did Nicole and Ted not know that they were pregnant with twins? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and ish on anybody's theories about that, because that's still, people still are running with that. And I agree with TG313. They're just ghetto twins. I think they're just ghetto twins. Now, I will say, in this week's episode, when we see Dana, Leslie, Sherry, Lulu, Anna, when Eva was talking about her birthday, her mama was like, "Oh, it just slipped my mind." Ugh. I have a story with that. I think I've told you guys my story when it comes to the birthday of it all, because my biological mother, she told me once before. So I have a cousin, right? We're the same age. Our birthdays are about 2 weeks apart, right? I think because my birthday is July 16th. His is towards the end of, like, the tail end of July, right? So one year, my biological mother sat there and told me that she gets my birthday confused with her nephew's. Mind you, I'm the one she gave birth to, not her fucking nephew. But okay. What up, Monique 69 Ways? How you doing today? But I mean, yeah. So everybody, like I said, everybody still believes Kat and Eva are twins. I just don't see it. Like TG313 said, I think they're just ghetto twins, you guys. But there is more to the story that, in the words of Trees, Five Guys is not telling us. It's absolutely more to that story. What that's more to it is, I don't know. So we see her as she's trying to, she went to Nicole's and she's telling Nicole that, "I'm so sorry. I didn't want to hurt you. It was all about Ted," and exposing Ted. I was like, that's one thing. And like Nicole said to her, you had more than one opportunity to sit there and tell me, "Yo, I slept with your husband. Yo, I had a baby with your husband." Bitch, you went on top of a roof and pretended like you were finna jump off of it. But that wasn't the right time to tell Nicole, "Hey, yeah, I know your husband." Okay, what up, girl? Thanks for the super chat, Kimmy Kim. You say they may not be twins, but maybe Leslie lost the baby she did have and stole their okay. I have saw people come up with that theory as well. I definitely have saw people come up with the theory that maybe she stole an embryo. And I mean, that would be a plot twist. For sure, for sure. Corey says, "I hate the new Ted." New guy it is for me. I mean, it's so soap opera. I'm shocked that they can't recast somebody so soon into the soap. I'm gonna give him a chance and see what he does. For me, he wasn't bad. I know a lot of people did. I also saw people complaining about the previous Ted, that his acting wasn't the best, right? So it is what it is. That would be a crazy plot twist, but I'd be here for it. Yeah, it would be a crazy plot twist. And again, it's a soap opera, so anything is possible with this. But like I said, so she says that she wants to apologize to Nicole. Nicole wasn't buying it. Neither was I. I was like, if you wanted to apologize to Nicole, you would have done this. Like, you wouldn't have went the way you did things. So then we see Mona. Mona was the MVP in Monday's episode. Monique says, "I'm going to give Keith a chance." Yeah. Corey says, "What gets me is they recast him during the most pivotal story." That part I do agree about. It's like, y'all picked the worst time. I guess it's very interesting that y'all picked the time where, even if let's just say Maurice, that's what the guy's name was, who played Ted. Let's just say Maurice wasn't the best actor. This storyline right here could have, it could have showcased if he is a great. I'm not saying he's a bad actor, so I don't want nobody to think that I'm saying that, but I'm just saying, it is interesting. I will give you that. Now, Mona, I do feel bad for Mona having to, because Mona is now in the space of, I vouch for Eva. because I was friends with Leslie. So Mona went down to Joey's casino, right? Because I guess Leslie, Dana, Sherry, Lulu, and Anna, they told her, oh, she did say that she won that money at the casino playing the machines, right? So we see as Mona went down to the casino, and what is old boy's name? I remembered it when I was watching the episode, but then I forgot his name that quick again. What is Doug's friend's name? Y'all leave it. Let me know. What is Doug's his name? It's I can't even think of his name right now. But Doug's friend was there, so he let him know. He let her know. Randy, thank you, Randy. So Randy let her know that there are no slots at Joey's casino. That is just the tables, right? And so she showed him a picture of crazy lady. He said, "I ain't never saw this woman." And even if he did, he wouldn't. It's like, like how doctor patient confidentiality is like that. I see her, but I don't see her for you or stuff like that, right? And so then she asked him about the machines. He said there are no machines there. And then that's when she was putting two and two together. But then while she was talking to him, she saw Eva sitting there playing the machine, and I'm playing on the table. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, Eva, where do you get the money from to play? Because you ain't got no job right about now. But okay, she got money to, blow. But I'm so confused. You got money to blow, but you don't have nowhere to stay. And you slaved yourself in your car after your mama kicked you out. But okay, Eva, cool. You got money to play. You sounding just like old boy. What up, Harold? How you doing today? So I love when Mona sat down. I love when Mona sat down with Eva and basically read Eva. It's like, I vouched for you to get this job. And you and whatever you want to call that woman, y'all played me. So she also said, I need the key. And I'm like, and here's my thing with Eva. Why do you still have that fucking key? Like, why do you still have that key? And when you went to Nicole's place to get your stuff out that office, why didn't you drop and be like, you know what? I'm so sorry, Nicole. Here's your key, but you kept the key. That don't make no sense. It was her being there was very random to me. Natia gave her an allowance. He could have. Maybe it's the money she got paid from working for Nicole. However much that is, because did y'all see how many chips Eva had? Like, Eva had a lot of chips. She wanted to talk to Nicole. She did. You know what? At this point, I want Eva to let that ship just sail. Let it sail, because it's not coming. You know what? I'm not gonna say it's not coming back, because I do feel that when it comes down to Ted and Nicole, I absolutely do feel that Ted and Nicole are going to get back together, and Nicole may accept her. The only person that I know ain't gonna accept Eva is my girl, Kitty Cat. Cat ain't gonna accept her, and I'm Team Cat when it comes to that too. Y'all, well, again, y'all know it's Team Cat for me, and I ain't swaying. Like, it's Team fucking Cat over here, right? So then we see as yeah, when Mona said good, I cracked up at Mona. Mona had me laughing, because then after that we see Mona went to Sherry, Dana, Leslie, Anna, Lulu's place, right? And she's like, "Oh, you're not mad at me. I still have a friend." I said, "Bitch, are you crazy?" Well, we know you are, but bitch, what? You ain't got no you ain't got no friend. Sure can't. Again, Harold, it is Team Cat over here, and you know that. Even Kim McKim says Team Cat all day. I hate how the scenes don't continue well. Eva and Tomas was holding hands, and the next scene was at the poker table. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Because, and the funny thing is, we didn't even see Tomas this week, which I'm actually kind of happy that we didn't see Tomas, because y'all know I ain't the biggest fan of Tomas. But I'm kind of happy we didn't see Tomas, I'm waiting for Kat to call Tomas out. Like, I'm just waiting for that to happen, but whatever. Mona and Kat had all the good lines this week. They did. They absolutely did, right? But when that crazy nutcase said, she still has a friend in a Mona, I said, ma'am, you literally played your friend. And then you got mad at Jan, which I haven't got to Jan yet, but you got mad at Jan. Like, you get mad at these people when you deceived them. This woman is delusional in so many ways, right? So then Mona asked her, so that dress that you had, if you didn't get the money from playing the slot from the casino, where do you get the money from? And she was like, oh, it was credit card debt. I said, God damn. So you still gonna lie. Girl, the jig is up at this point. Tell the truth. I blackmailed Ted and got money from it. Like, but she says it's from credit cards. I said, okay, girl, whatever. Not you glad we ain't see him. Yeah, I'm kind of glad we didn't see Tomas. I'm cool on Tomas. So after that, we see Ted go see the crazy health. I'm like, damn, everybody's paying this crazy bitch a visit today. And why? So when Ted went to go visit her, this is when I knew that lady was off her rocker. That bitch talking about, I did all this for you because I'm still in love with you, Ted. After 20 years, ma'am. Weren't you married? I mean, I know I can't talk because here's the thing. There's a person that I had a crush on in high school, right? But the thing is, we are still in each other's lives to this day. We share a best friend in common, and the feeling, and it's been some years, right? But the feelings are still there. So, I mean, but I'm not crazy like this nutcase is. So yeah, no. Harold says, I was here for Jan getting in Leslie's ass because she had the nerve to get mad at that woman for telling her about herself. Absolutely. Then tried to play with Mona like she was exactly. King McKim says, I don't think she's gonna call out Tomas. Martin made her second guess what she saw. That's what pissed me off with Martin. But I do hope she calls him out and leave him where leave Tomas at the door. She thought she was fantasizing when Ted showed up. Yeah, she should have been. She should have been. When I tell y'all that lady is off her fucking rocker and crazy as hell, I ain't never saw. Well, I mean, there are some crazy characters on soap operas, and this woman is truly one of them. Because I mean, demented. Now we see Martin and Kat. They were at the bar. They were at Uptown, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were at Uptown. And if I'm not mistaken, this Uptown scene is literally after, because I feel like Kat had the same clothes on from when she saw Tomas with Eva. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But neither here nor there. They're talking, right? And I realized in this moment when they were talking, I was like, oh, Martin, I see you. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Martin wanting to have a relationship with Eva, but sir, you were just so mad at your daddy a few days ago. You were just mad at your daddy a few hours ago. Scratch that, not days, hours ago. And now, here's the thing. I know Harold likes Eva, right? And I'm gonna defend Eva. Y'all see this? This is how much I'm gonna defend Eva. I'm gonna defend Eva for just a hot second. So Eva, I do agree, right? I agree with what Martin said. Look at her pain. Look at the mother that she has. Her mother has lied to her. Her mother has manipulated her. But I'm also with Kat. That don't mean shit. Eva waited to the last fucking minute to want to grow a conscience and try to stop her crazy ass mama. So I see both sides. Would I necessarily want to try to foster a relationship with Eva? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Harold says Leslie definitely qualifies for a crazy chick. Okay, so they were. I thought. Okay, so it was the same day. I knew I wasn't tripping. Excuse me. It was she had left and then came back a little later. I think when Eva was there, it was earlier in the day. Now, see, the thing with Uptown is always dark, so I can't tell if it's dark outside or what, because Uptown is always fucking dark. You say because they took dinner to their mom. That is true. I think Dana Leslie so and so yelling at her changed his mind about her. I think I definitely do agree with that. I definitely do agree with that. But it wouldn't change my mind. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. It would not change my mind. Can I empathize with Eva? Yeah, I can. I can absolutely empathize with Eva, but I don't have that much empathy for Eva because Eva is a grown woman who knew what she was doing, right? So I can't really feel too much for her. Now, Anita and Danny, we see as they went over to Ted's hotel, right? And they both read into Ted. And am I upset about it? No, they're just defending Nicole. So I was okay with both of them reading into him. But he's like, y'all can do whatever y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. But his main concern is Nicole. And I was like, well, your main concern should have been Nicole when this crazy lady showed up in town. When this crazy lady showed up in town, that's when you should have told your wife, like, yo, yeah. So, around the time the cat was conceived, yeah, I was sleeping with that crazy lady that you saw on the roof. And he didn't know about Eve at the time. So, but yeah, he should have been honest, right? He definitely should have been honest with her. Now, here's another thing where I kind of feel sorry for Eva, and this was even less than the before. Harold says I have a soft spot for Eva, LOL, but I know she's not above reproach. Absolutely. So the scene where I really felt bad for Eva, and it's Eva's crying that I think makes me feel bad for her, because if she didn't cry, I wouldn't have felt shit. So Eva is at Uptown once again, right? And so we see as Danny and Anita are at Uptown, and they sat down with the Anita even held her hand. I said, "Oh," I'm like, "Baby girl, you do know she's holding your hand before she lowers the boom on you, right?" And she lowered the boom on her and told her, "Yeah, you may be Ted's daughter, you may be Kat and you may be Ted's daughter, Kat and Martin's half sister, but as far as the Dupree family go, and you heard Nicole, you ain't shit to us." I said, "Well, damn, okay." And Eva started crying, and that's why I think I really felt bad for Eva. When she started crying, I was like, "Oh, that's so sad." Not really, but it's sad. Eva isn't innocent. She went along with her mother's revenge. Absolutely. Hey, crazy homebody girl. I hope you're having a great Sunday. So that is it for Monday. Let's go ahead and move on to Tuesday, you guys. So let's see. Kim says that's why I feel like Nicola is Eva's mom. All of this talk of it being accepted by the Duprees and twins, it's a little heavy-handed. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I see where people are going with this story. I see how people can come up with this thought that they could be twins or that Eva could be Nicole's daughter. I do see where people are going with that, because they do say a lot of things that make you think, right? Because when Kat is coming up, but when Kat sat with her, she did talk about Martin saying they should have because their birthdays are so close, they should have a twin connection. Then the fact of the Dupree saying that they will not accept her because of what she did to Nicole. So yes, a lot of things. Amber Mitchell and her lip quiver gets me. Yeah, I mean, she's a great actress. I will absolutely give it to her. She's a great actress. So Tuesday, we see Eva and her daddy together. And I was like, oh, okay. Baby, Eva was so happy, dressed up in her finest outfit. Now that town gossip, I would have slapped the shit out that lady. Real spill, I would have slapped the shit out that lady. When she told Eva that she was dressed like a church girl, and I would have asked, well, bitch, what are you dressed like? Because you dressed like a nosy hoe that ain't got no business of her own. How about that? You say, I do feel bad for Eva. It is her fault, but still, the way her mom is treating her is gross. Absolutely. I agree that the way that her mom is treating her is gross. like I said, you guys, can I really feel bad for Eva? Like 5% of me feels bad for Eva. 5%. And the reason why is because Eva waited to the last fucking minute. Like, why would you wait to the last minute? Oh, you guys also might hear playing flying off of my apartment. Eva clearly yearns for unconditional love. There were terms with Leslie as we can see unfolding. Now, yeah, Leslie only loved Eva for her benefit. 100% true. They mentioned the Dupree family because they are the ones with the clout, not Ted. True. And I think that's also something else that, I like what me and really be upset about when it comes to Haley. Y'all want the notoriety that comes with the Dupree name, but neither one of y'all have connections to the Dupree name. The Dupree name comes from the kids of Vernon and Anita, and the kids of Vernon and Anita are Nicole and both Danny. Bill and Ted married into the Dupree family, so they have no ties to the Duprees outside of marital ties. I don't like how all the men in the family seemingly forgave Eva. It reminds me of the wedding when they all stood up and the women were seated. I didn't even think about that because that is well. Here's the thing. Like I said, I understand both Martin and Ted. I do understand, especially Ted. I understand Ted because Ted is her father. He didn't know about her. So he wants to make up for not being in her life, right? Martin is her brother. The only person that got an issue with her is her older sister, Kat. And Kat has valid reasons to have an issue with her. So I'm not really upset about the men. I'm not as upset about that. Not Anastasia was dressed like a streetwalker. I'm hollering. Anastasia, I would have slapped the shit out of Anastasia. Just keeping it real with you guys. Now, Anastasia, right? So Eva noticed Anastasia watching him, and what's his name? Ted was like, she's a town gossip. And she just kept staring and drinking her tea. I was like, bitch, do you want to wear that tea? Because you keep sipping it. So we see Danny. So Danny went to go get Nicole, and Nicole didn't want to leave the house, but Danny talked her into leaving the house, right? So when they left the house, now we also saw Vanessa is at the country club as well. So when they got to the country club, Danny and Nicole saw them, right? So they went and sat with Vanessa. While they're sitting with Vanessa, that's when Anastasia got her raggedy ass up. She went and talked to Vanessa them. They paid her dust. So then she decided to go over there with Ted and with Eva. And that's when she told Eva she was dressed like a church girl. And as Harold just says, Anastasia was dressed like a streetwalker. A crazy homebody girl. Oh, you say unpopular opinion, but Kat gets on my nerves. It's not unpopular. It's not unpopular because I know there are a good majority of people that cannot stand Kat, right? And I get it. I get why people don't like Kat. It's the classist thing. I think that's what a lot of people don't like is the classist stuff with Kat, right? And I understand it. Harold says to Monique, she was team too much. Like, go somewhere and sit down with that corduroy skirt on. I want to slap Anastasia. So crazy homebody, not so Universal Soul Goddess. Universal Soul Goddess says, I wish they would have given us a Dupree son so people will actually be trying to get into the Dupree family by blood, not marriage. So here's my 2 cents on that. I honestly feel like there probably is a Dupree son that may come later on down. I mean, if you guys are true soap opera fans, you guys know with these families, there's always an illegitimate child, right? Think about General Hospital and the General Hospital when it comes down to the Quartermains, right? Alan cheated on Trace, and Alan cheated on Monica and had Jason and Drew. And then Edward cheated on Lila with a black woman. Edward cheated on Lila, had a child with a black woman. So yeah, it's possible. I did just see that this week here. I'm gonna get to y'all's I did just see that this week that Victoria Rao auditioned for the role of Anita Dupree. I did see that. I saw that. I'm trying to see if I can picture Victoria in this role of Anita. Yes and no. I think they made a great choice in casting Tamara Tooney. But I do want to see Victoria Rao on this show. I definitely do. And I hope Victoria Rao, if she does come on this show at some point, I hope her treatment on this show is much better than what she was treated on The Young and the Restless. Martin accepting Eva after 2 days after the fallout doesn't make sense. I agree. Martin and Eva didn't have a prior scene together. I agree with that, right? I agree with that. I think the reason why Martin is so forgiving is literally because of her mama. I think it's just because of her mama. Monique said she agreed with me. Dupree's son later down the road because Anita and Vernon walking like they are so perfect. They are. They definitely are. Yes, I love Tamara. I love her. She is phenomenal. I know people are complaining about, I know I saw some people on social media complaining about her singing, that they don't like it. Can y'all hold a tune? That's all I got to say. Can y'all hold a tune? Because if you can't, you ain't got no room to talk. Now, once Anastasia's raggedy ass said what she said to Eva, Eva left, right? And she went to Orphe Jeans. Girl, you should have went home. You should have went home. Because when she went to Orphe Jeans and her mama was there, and when I tell you that bitch caused the whole entire scene, and the way she caused the scene with Eva, the way she caused the scene with Eva is the delusions for me with this lady. This lady is really sitting here trying it. And this is after Jan read her. Because Jan was like, what kind of mother would do the things that you've done? I was like, Jan, I may not see it for your daughter, but the way you gathered Sherry, Dana, Leslie, Anna, and Lulu, I was here for it. You say, I hope Anita is the wow. Not you want Anita to be the one that cheated. I'm tired of the men being the cheaters. I agree. I agree. Not you can hold a tuna in the shower. Does that count? I mean, I guess if you ain't, I don't think you one of those people that's complaining about Tamara singing, because I'm just like, people complaining about her singing. It's like, what the fuck? Can y'all sing? Can y'all get out a note on key? That's the key, on key. Harold is saying to Monique, there are definitely skeletons in their closet. That's why I said I hope the Dupree's words to Eva don't come back to bite them in. Oh, absolutely, they're gonna come back and bite them in the ass. I mean, let's just be for real, you guys. They're gonna come back and bite them. I mean, we already know that they're holding the secret with Martin. Jan was reading Leslie and them split personalities like a true white woman. She gathered her. I will say that. I felt bad for her in this scene. And it warmed my heart when Martin came up to her. Oh, how do I feel about this? Because I was looking at this scene, right? Did I feel bad? I'm trying to think that I feel. You're right. I like her singing. I'm trying to think that I feel bad for Eva. Here's the thing. Did I feel bad for Eva? No. Was I embarrassed for Eva? Absolutely. Because I mean, y'all in the middle of a rest in a diner, and you got a crazy lady in front of you just screaming at you. And then when she screamed at Jen, and all your bitching, I said, girl, why did you have to say bitching with so much emphasis? I was like, damn, this bitch is crazy, right? Now, I did, like I said, I don't know if I felt bad for Eva. I just was more so embarrassed for Eva because it's like, damn, you came down here down on your luck, and then your crazy ass, multiple personalities having ass mama still is delusional. But I knew she was gonna go off on Eva when Eva sat there and told her, "Oh, Ted got me into a whole, Ted did this, Ted did that," and I was like, "Oh, girl." Wait, no, Eva didn't tell her that, right? Ted told her that. But the fact that she's like you with the parent that you want to be with. I'm like, Eva, girl, get up from this, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. I just want to tap her, baby, get up from the table, get away from this crazy lady. And she still sat there. I was like, the minute that woman would have raised her voice at me, I would have been like, you know what, mama, I love you, but I'm a grown ass person, and you ain't finna sit here and yell at me. Not in no public place. Now, if we at home, that's fine. But in public, bitch, you are not finna yell at me. Have a good day. I thought you would have some kind of, empathy for me. But you know what, bitch? Fuck you. Now I wouldn't say that to my mama. I wouldn't say that to my mother. But if I had a mother like her, I would. So I think the secret will be with Vernon. I hope not. Remember that Bill told Danny her dad was the one that helped orchestrate the agreement between Dana and Ted. I'm a hope not. I do feel like it might be Vernon, but I'm really hoping it's not. Only because her mama is all over the place. It's like one minute she's reading her filth for going to her daddy, all to ask her the next day for help with her daddy. When I saw that shit, I was looking at Eva, which not trying to get too far ahead of myself, but when I saw Eva get that text message from that crazy lady, I was like, Eva, do you remember the other day that your mama was just yelling at you? But okay, if you want to go down there and meet your mama, cool. Oh God, you guys. Let's let's talk about these people that I don't want to talk about. Derek and Ashley and Doug. Derek and Ashley. I don't even know what to say about Derek and Ashley. Like I said, when we get to Thursdays, Wednesday, is it? We're on Tuesday, right? So when we get down to whatever day they were, it was one day that they were on there quite a bit, and I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, whichever day it was. I don't know nothing that happened because I know I saw Naomi talking to Ashley, and I know I saw Derek talking to Jacob. Now, y'all will have to tell me what happened in them scenes because I do not know. I literally don't know. I also don't really know what happened with. So I do know that when we saw Derek and Ashley on Tuesday, we saw as they were talking about taking a shower. Derek went into the shower. Derek took his shirt off and threw it on the floor. Ashley's mama called her. I don't know what Ashley said to her mama because when I tell you guys, it was a fast the fuck forward because I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I wasn't listening. I saw them and I said, yeah, this is a whole hell now. One, one, no way. I was going to sit there and watch that. Monique says Stockholm Eva. I'm starting to see more. I do see it, right? I'm starting to think that Ashley don't like that man, but again, I don't know what happened because I wasn't listening. I mean, yeah, it was her birthday, but I mean, if your mama ain't text you happy, birthday, she didn't say nothing. She said, I want to meet with you. The bitch didn't say happy birthday to you. My mama, on my birthday, when I lived with her, she would come to my room and say happy birthday. That would be the first thing she said to me. Even when I moved out, she would call me on the phone and say happy birthday. She wouldn't say, are you coming home? Like, no. Somebody, yeah. Oh, the comments are going. I skip their scene every time. Yeah, I had to skip it. When I talk about this show, I get those boring ass people. Ashley and Derek out the way. Yeah, I should have done that, but I didn't take no notes on them, so I can't really say that. I can't say nothing about them. I'm gonna come back up to you, everybody else's comments, but this is the comment that I was thinking this too. Who was that white man in that diner? Because he was listening to Leslie and Jan. He was also listening to Martin and Vernon. Wonder who he is. She should have never said yes to him moving in if she wasn't ready. They should have found a, they should have tried to find a bigger apartment. Not nothing happened. Yeah, their storyline is boring. I did see that scene, and that was a boring scene too. That was a I was like, this is a boring ass scene. I ain't never saw a love making scene so boring in my life. I ain't never saw a more boring looking love making scene. I ain't never saw a more boring. When I tell y'all that scene was boring to me, y'all, that scene was boring. Ashley doesn't want Derek moving all that ugly. Yeah, I don't blame her. I was wondering that for a minute if the man was following Martin, but again, he was eavesdropping on everybody's conversation. So I don't know. He was yeah, I was wondering. But also with Martin in his dream, so it was a man in his dream. So I know everybody thinks that somehow June is connected to Martin, which I still do believe that. And we'll talk about June in a minute. But whatever's going on with Martin's dream, it's a man involved, and he asked him what color is his money. He has something to do with Martin and them dreams. I agree. You say JB, there was a mystery man that followed Martin and Vernon. Yeah, I did mention him, which we're trying to figure out. We want to wonder who that man is, who that strange white man is. Harpo. I hate to say this, but I think Ashley and Derek scenes would be more entertaining if they were. Child, I cannot. If they were both more attractive. I'm dead. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Good night, y'all. I'm logging off. If they were more, child, I can't. But I mean, here's the thing. I won't say that they're. I don't know if I would say that they're not attractive. I think for me, it's the fact that there's no chemistry. That's I've been saying it. There's no chemistry with those two. Hell, there's no chemistry with Ashley and Andre, and we saw them again this week. I was like, fuck. I thought we were done with this storyline. I really thought we were done with this storyline. I'd rather watch paint dry than watch them rolling naked in between the sheets again. Yeah, that was the most. I was like, most times when I see people, love making scenes, I'm like, oh, it kind of do something to you. I'm like, okay, I would like to watch. Even with Bill and Haley, which I didn't take no, I'm gonna keep it rich, guys. I didn't take no notes on them either. So all I know is they had a love making scene because she was talking about their honeymoon. I didn't give a damn because it was Haley and Bill on my screen. Two people who I don't give a damn to see. Huh. And in the same scene together. Basically, she got OCD and she's having second thoughts on moving Derek in. And when he tried to fix it, she keeps putting it off. She don't want him. She wants Andre. Oh, thank you for summing that up. Because like I said, I didn't watch this scene. I have not. I briefly talked about the new Ted, but not in its entirety. I'll really talk about him more so once I get to the day he showed up. But I mean, like I did say that I'm going to give him a chance just to see how he does. And here's the thing: if you guys know anything about soap operas, they listen to the fans, right? They do listen to what the fans say. And I'll give you guys, if you guys watch General Hospital, I'll give you guys a perfect example of them listening to the fans, right? So if you guys watch General Hospital, there's a character on there named Carly. I love Carly. Carly is problematic as hell, but I love I love me some Carly, right? So there was a woman, her name is Tamara Braun. Tamara Braun played Carly after the original actress who played Carly left General Hospital, right? So when Tamara left, they recast the role of Carly with a woman, Jennifer. Her name is Jennifer Bransford, right? And that's actually when I started watching General Hospital full time. And I know that the fans, and mind you, this is the days of, message boards. So there was no social media when she joined the show. So the message boards were swarming with people who could not stand that woman. They hated her and they hated her acting. They hated her acting so much that General Hospital, they fired her and they recast her with the woman that is currently playing Carly. They recast Carly with a woman, Laura Wright. And Laura Wright has been on General Hospital since 2005, I believe, or so, and she's still there. And so so yeah. So if Keith doesn't do well, and especially with social media, Keith will be out of there. They can recast Keith. Yes, I love Carly. Clutching my pearls. You like her? I love Carly. Now, what I will say when it comes to Carly, Carly does things that I can't stand, but Carly is my girl. I love Carly to pieces. I love Carly, despite how problematic she is. I love me some. It's always gonna be. I'm always gonna be a Carly fan. Love me some Carly. Love my Carly. Now, the whole shit with her and Nina, she pissed me off with that shit with Nina because I'm like, girl, you ain't no better, Carly. You've done shit. You've done shit, Carly, and let's not play like you're like Carly. You've talked about Elizabeth being sanctimonious, but Carly, you had that same disposition that Elizabeth has, and I hate Elizabeth. Is it them or was it the writing and directing? Because the sex scenes do seem theirs was awkward. But you guys have to remember, we saw Naomi, and the first time we met Naomi and Jacob, they were getting it in. And I was interested in Naomi and Jacob's scene. These two, I had no, and it could have been the directing, the choreography. It could have been a lot of things. You say I miss old Ted, but I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give this one a chance. I have to get used. Yeah, I think we all have to get used to him. You say laughing my ass off. I can't stand her. I mean, that's Carly. That's Carly. And don't let Saint Michael be involved. If Saint Michael is involved, baby, you know Carly's going to hell. Yeah, I'm always yeah, when I so here's the thing with Carly. I don't always agree with everything that Carly does. I don't always agree with everything she does because she's done something like there was a period like when Michael got with y'all know, since I'm a soap opera head, I do get off on tangents. So if you guys have a problem with that, it is what it is. But when Michael got with Willow and how Carly was trying, always there with Michael when he was trying to fight before Nell met her untimely demise, I wasn't here for them. And I wasn't here for them with the shit that they were doing with Nina, trying to keep her away from the kids. I wasn't here for it. Is Nina flawed and fucked up? Yes. But Carly, so are you. Like, yeah, I love Carly, but I ain't never mixing. If I need to call Carly out, I am going to call Carly out. So let's get back to Beyond the Gates before anybody be like, you done got off on a tangent about General Hospital. So let's get back to it. I've saw some of them. Some of them are, I've interacted with some of them on Twitter, and we cool. I'm cool with some of them, right? I'm cool with some of them because, like I said, I have no. And if you look at my Twitter when I do tweet about GH, if you look at my Twitter, I'll always talk about how much I love Carly, but then also at the same time, if I don't agree with something with Carly, like I said, I did not agree when they were trying to again. You lied about the stuff with Nell. So yes, yeah, no, I'm always gonna call Carly out if I need to. If I need to. No, you good. You're good. I'm joking anyways because I'm not. It's my channel, and if I want to talk about what I want to talk about, I'm gonna talk about it. But yeah, so can I also be honest with you guys about this week of Beyond the Gates? There was one storyline this week that absolutely annoyed me, and it went all week. It was the Vernon and Anita stuff about the articulates. I was like, how many times am I going to hear about the articulates? I was irritated hearing about the articulates. I really was. Oh, I forgot to mention that Vernon sat down with Martin. Martin told Vernon he no longer wants to run for president. Thank you, Martin. Martin, let me ask you a question, buddy, because this doesn't make any sense to me. You know you got a skeleton in your closet, but you still want to run for president. It wasn't until the fact that the secret about your mama and your daddy came out. Well, your daddy came out, and your half sister over there. So none of this is making sense, Martin. It really truly isn't. It took for you have a scandal. You think it's buried. Your former Uncle Bill knows he's blackmailing you. But okay, Martin, you know what? It is what it is. LOL. Well, at least we're gonna meet one of them this. Yeah, we're gonna meet one of them this week finally. Because I'm tired of. And here's the thing: I'm not sick of the I'm not sick of hearing about the articulates. It was just heavily this week with Vernon and Anita. It was heavily focused on the articulates. I was like, damn, how many times are we gonna talk about the articulates? Like we talked about the articulates from Wednesday to Friday. Wednesday to Friday. I was like, you know what? It's cool, right? Now, Wednesday, we see as Andre went to go check on his aunt Nicole. And Nicole is pissed off at Andre. And I was like, but Nicole, you just said you was just saying, you know, who was she talking to? Was she talking to Danny last week about? Yeah, she was talking to whoever she was talking to. But you were saying that you understood why he did it. But now you're upset with him. I'm like, okay. But I'm glad that Danny came in and was telling her, like, yo, why are you going off on him? And Danny had to, you know, use therapy on her. And she's like, damn you, Danny, for, you know, being my therapist. I was like, well, she told you the truth. What would you have done? Like, what would you have done if he told you? You still be pissed. I agree. Martin is a fool. You say, I think Anita stole Vernon. Oh, you think Anita stole Vernon from Sharon. That's why she hung up in her face. Baby, when she answered that phone and you heard her disconnect that phone, I said, well, damn, Anita, what you do to Sharon? Because Sharon ain't fucking with you. Sharon is like, I'm good on you. Sharon said, girl, I am good on you. So I don't know what Anita did to Sharon, but Sharon's like, you ain't my cup of tea. I ain't fucking with you. We Gucci. I was like, you must have really fucked Sharon over. You must have really fucked her over. So what was I talking about? Oh, Nicole. So Nicole, she did apologize to Andre. And so when he left, that's when she asked Danny, so like, Danny, what's going on between you and Andre? And Danny looked at her like, what are you talking about? Nothing. So she made it seem like it was about the photo shoot. I was like, ooh, that was a good one, Danny. Because Danny's like, she's not ready for a relationship. I was like, you ain't ready for a relationship, but you definitely ready for some bang, 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 bang. Danny said, you're going to be nice to my boo thing. Come hell or high water. Right? Right? I was here for that. So now we see Eva. Eva, you've got to be delusional. I get that, you know, you and Kat, you know, y'all are sisters. Y'all have the same father. But you know your sister doesn't see it for you, right? So for you to sit down with your sister and try to have a conversation with her, I was like, girl, you would have been better off sitting with Martin. You would be better off sitting with anybody in the family, but not Kat. Because Kat, she's like, you know, I just want to get past our issues. And Kat was like, bitch, I ain't got no issues with you. I was like, you're right. She ain't got no, like, she doesn't have an issue with her. She just don't fuck with, like, she's like, I see you. We see each other. In the words of Nene and Kennedy, we see each other. So, you know, I was just in there looking at Eva. I was like, girl, if you don't get, again, read the room and get up. There's nothing to, there's no conversation to be had with Kat. So then Martin came and sat with Kat. He's like, you know, I want to invite you over to dinner. And she's like, okay, cool. He's like, peace tonight. She's like, okay, cool. He's like, so what do you feel about Eva coming? She said, Eva? I just said I want to be done with the Eva Leslie drama, but you want me to come over to dinner with her. I was like, yeah, again, please read the room, people. She don't like the girl. And for good reason. For good reason. They just give him Vernon and Anita storyline. Yeah, that's true. She do have an issue with Eva though. Here's the thing. I don't think she sees it that way. I think she sees it more so like, I don't have an issue with you because you don't exist to me, right? Yeah, you fucked over my mama and my daddy, and I don't fuck with you. So I think that's why Kat feels like she doesn't have an issue with Eva. LOL, but Kat put that drink down real quick. I love Kat, but she ain't ready for them problems. Yeah, Kat is a privileged, spoiled girl who, you know, I'm gonna give you guys somebody that Kat reminds me of. If you guys watch The Real Housewives of Potomac, and you guys are familiar with Candace Dillard Bassett, right? Candace is a wordsmith. She can read you with her word, but Candace is not gonna physically fight you. That is who Kat is. Kat will read you with her words, and she ain't gonna fight you because that's not how she didn't grow up that way. So I don't think she was ready for that with Eva, but she did tell Eva she would be wearing that drink. But I don't think Kat was gonna do it, right? She quickly believed that Eva was the one who ran that girl over. Yeah, but here's the thing: if you think logically, it will make sense, right? It's if you think logically, and here's the thing: if we didn't know that it was actually Leslie that ran Laura off the road, I think our mindset would be going like, okay, was it you, Eva, or was it your mama? Because it's one of those, it's one of the two, right? It's either her or her mama, because it's too convenient that Laura got ran off the road. Eva gets this job, and now we see the outcome of what happened. It was all part of their plan. So, but I mean, Kat is right on the money. She's on the money, but she's not on the money. She just believed, which I don't know why Kat quickly believed a lion person like Leslie, Sherry, Dana, Anna, Lulu. I don't know why she believed her when the woman has gone by multiple names at this point. But I mean, hey, she kind of believed it. But I'm glad she did something. I'm glad she went a different route than what she did the last time. So then after that, we see so Eva did go to the house, right? And this is where I kind of Samantha's a teenager. But Samantha, when she saw Eva come in the house, also Jessica was there as well, right? But when Samantha saw Eva, she wasn't feeling her. But then when Eva did her hair, that's when she was like giddy all over Eva. I'm like, huh? But again, Samantha's a teenager, so with teenagers, stupid shit impressed kids someday, So I was confused, but I was not that confused. You say, I just don't want Eva to get set up like that, but it's looking like that's how it's going. It does. But, which we know that video, they couldn't tell anything. So it's going to be Leslie's word versus Eva's word. And if Eva has an alibi for the night, because Eva asked her mama, do you have an alibi? If Eva got an alibi, then there only leaves one option. You crazy lady, because you ain't got no alibi, because you're the one that ran Laura off the road. She's blinded by her hate for Eva. She's gonna believe in the worst of her. Absolutely. I think they will eventually realize Eva didn't have anything to do with Laura's accident. Heck, she held the truth about her father for 20 years. Yeah, that's true. I don't think that anybody's going to believe that Eva did this. I think it's going to cast more doubt and suspicion on her batshit crazy ass mama. Because all they have to do is, that wasn't her bike. I think that was a rented, if I'm not mistaken, that was a rented bike. They can't track it. That's interesting. Eventually it's gonna come out that she's the one that ran Laura off the road. How it's gonna come out, I do not know. Well, you know what? If I'm remembering correctly, they said she turned back around after she ran Laura off the road and looked in. So Laura may have been conscious. And with Nicole being a therapist, you can put her on, you know, hypnotize her and see if she, ooh, Nicole could hypnotize her and see what she remembers. You know what, Cajun? I should put you in timeout. Should I put you in timeout or should I ban you? Because you're trying it. Well, I don't think Eva can ride a motorcycle. That's that's a good theory as well. I don't know if Eva can ride a motorcycle as well. We know her mama can. We know her mother can. Again, you can get blocked Cajun, or I can easily mute you. You really be trying it. How do I feel about the new Ted? So I'm cool with the new Ted. Honestly, I really am cool with the new Ted because I recognize him. I know him. So I know we know him from Dreamgirls, and I know him from Power Rangers. So I like him. I like him. He's Here's the thing, like I said, they could be going one, they could be going a multiple because which technically he's older than Maurice, the guy who previously played Ted, but he looks a little bit young. He looks in his face, he looks a little bit young. He's slimmer and he's young. He looks younger. So I don't know what I don't. They may be trying to go in a different direction with Ted. So I'm so curious. I don't know what I'm just curious to see where they go with the character of Ted. You say, I think Five Guys has more person. She said that. The actress playing Samantha looks too old to be in high school. She does. I will agree. She does look a little bit older to be in high school. I will give her college, but high school, yeah, I agree. Oh, yeah, okay. Now y'all know I don't really watch Tubi movies, so but okay, cool. I definitely will have to go check and see what he's done on Tubi because the guy who plays Jacob, he's been promoting this movie on Tubi that he did, and the production looked good because I know at one point Tubi movies would give him bootleg. Do you know why they switched out to Ted? I don't. That's maybe Maurice will eventually say, but at this point, I don't know. I've heard suspicions that people say that him and the woman Daphne who plays Nicole, they didn't get along. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll eventually maybe he'll say, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, they could have also wanted to take Ted in a different direction because they're soap operas are notorious for doing that, right? Back to General Hospital, there was a character named Kate Howard. They recast her because they took the character in a different direction. They took Kate and turned her into Connie, who had who had DID, aka multiple personalities, right? So it's a multitude of reasons why they could have recast him. Will we ever know? Maybe, maybe not. Let's start a petition for JB to make me a mod. I wish I would. No, thank you, Cajun. So, well, that's a throwback to '90s when a lot of older actors were playing teenagers, right? Because he played a teenager on Power Rangers, and I think he was in his early 20s at the time. I think he was in his early 20s. Jacob is going to be the one to realize that Crazy Leslie did it. I think so too. You say, I remember they did that. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. It could be that. They could be trying to go a different direction with Ted. Because like I said, with Kate, that there one woman who played bougie Kate Howard, but then they brought in, what is her name? I still keep up with her. Can't even think of her name right now. Oh, her last name is Sullivan. I can't think of her first name right about now, but her last name is Sullivan. But they recast her to play Connie, and she did a great job playing Connie. I miss Connie. I miss Connie at Falconeri. So I think I've already talked about Vernon and Anita. He still wants her to reach out to the Articulates. She reached out to Sharon, who hung up in her face. That bitch hung up in her face. And then we get June, you guys. So June is back, and June's attitude is so stank dank dank. But June had to go to the hospital because June has a cold. So Naomi told Jacob to feel her forehead. He said she had a fever and she passed out. And so when they were leaving to take her to the hospital, Naomi found a picture, and it was, now I will say that picture looked old as hell. That picture looked like it was old as fuck. So we'll talk about that in Thursday's episode more, or is it Thursday or Friday? But that was an old ass picture. But we'll talk about June in just more about June in a minute. New Ted doesn't have the same sex appeal. New Ted doesn't have the sex appeal or swagger of the original Ted they have in in Mr. Rogers sweaters. And New Ted is the same height as Cat. Let's see. I mean, here's the thing. I like him. I really do, you guys. I liked him. I thought he did good. Okay, so he shut that rumor down. Okay, cool. I'm glad he shut that rumor down. So yeah, they possibly just, it could be a multitude of reasons, you guys. Like I said, they could want to take Ted in a different direction. They could be sometimes they could be going darker. I don't necessarily see them going darker with Ted, but there could have been or even with Maurice. Maybe he, I don't know what projects he got coming up. There could be so many different reasons why he left. Because I don't know if I don't think I've heard that he got fired per se. I just know that they recast, and like I said, when they recast, it could be for it could be for so many different reasons, right? It could be, I mean, well, technically he did get fired, but so I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, I think they are going to say June is Haley's mother. That's a theory that I've been seeing as well. When I looked at that old ass picture, I don't think it's Tyrell and Samantha, you guys, because that picture looked very old. So I don't think it's Tyrell and Samantha, because when June was questioned about the picture, she said she just has the picture because she likes it, because she doesn't remember anything. And I was like, that's interesting that she has a picture, but she doesn't know anything about the kids in the picture. Very interesting. You say, yeah, that's what's throwing me off. Clarify on what's throwing you off, because I done said so much and I forgot what we were talking about. June doesn't look old enough to be Haley's mother. I mean, that's one thing. Tyrell and Samantha would, oh, I didn't put that on the screen. Tyrell and Samantha would, yeah, I mean, I guess Tyrell and Samantha would be a better storyline for her. I just don't think it's Tyrell and Samantha anymore, like I at one point thought it was. Because again, that picture, if you guys looked at that picture was old as hell. Granted, she lives under a bridge, but that was an old ass picture. And Tyrell and Samantha are 16 to 17 years old. So that means Tyrell and Samantha came along in, the late, 2000s, 2010s, somewhere in that era. And what have we had for the last almost 20 years? Cell phones. Like, we've had cell phones for almost 20 years with phones. With what? A camera. So that picture gives me like a 90s. So I just don't think it's Tyrell and Samantha, you guys. I honestly don't. But it could be. I'm not saying it ain't. I'm just saying that picture was old as fuck. Like, it looked like she printed it off something. So, well, you know what? Maybe. Oh, the new Ted, that he's missing the swag of not old, cuter Ted. You know what? If Scotty was up here, I'm sure he would agree with y'all too, because y'all know Scotty loves that man. Speaking of which, I texted him yesterday about Ted, because Maurice Johnson, because Maurice popped up on my timeline yesterday when he was at the gym. So, so back to what are we talking about, you guys? I know I was talking about. So what day? What week are we on? What day are we on now? We're on Thursday, right? Because I finished with Wednesday, so now we're on Thursday. We've already talked about Ashley and Derek, that I didn't know what the fuck they were doing in the scene, so we've already cleared that. So we see as Leslie, well, Sherry, Dana, Leslie, Anna, and Lulu, all five of them went to go pay Bill a visit, right? So Bill has issued a cease and desist to her. I was like, a cease and desist? So Bill wants her to stop speaking on him. I was like, okay, you want her to stop speaking on you, but what's she saying? Is it true? If it's true, then what are we ceasing? And as much as I don't like that crazy lady, I was actually here for her when she sat there and told that man to his face that, come at me, I'm gonna come at you. You know, basically, she gonna give as good as she gets. And I was like, you know what? I ain't even mad at it. I'm not even mad at her saying she gonna give as good as she get. So then, after she left, that's when she takes Eva to meet up with her. And this was also Eva's birthday, right? And then after she left, Ted called, not Ted, but Bill called Ted up to have Ted come down to his office, right? So when Ted got down there, Bill is telling, and this is the first episode where we met Keith. The role of Ted Richardson is now being played by Keith D. Robinson. I was like, okay, now come on, Keith D. Robinson. Now again, you guys, I know a lot of y'all are saying, y'all don't see it for him because he's missing the swagger of the other, which I'll actually give y'all that part. He is kind of missing the swagger. I do see what y'all are saying about the swagger. I do see it. The cuter part, that's subjective. That is subjective. If you guys feel like Maurice is cuter than Keith, that's subjective, and I'll let you guys have that one, right? I ain't got no dog in that fight. I really don't. So, oh damn, you guys, I just remember I still gotta rewatch Raising Kanan and The Never Ever Mets. those reviews will be up sometime today. But yeah, so Bill is basically telling him, like, you need to talk to her. And Bill is telling him to threaten her because she blackmailed him. And Ted was like, well, how did you know she blackmailed? He was like, deductive reasoning. Because she said she live in a nice apartment. She ain't got a job. So 1 + 1 = 2. And I was like, you're right. So yeah, he wants her to do that. Him to do that. Now, we're back over at Orphe Jeans. And so at Orphe Jeans, she met up with Eva. Mind you, it's Eva's birthday. Did she say happy birthday to her daughter? She's like, we celebrated your birthday 2 weeks ago. I was like, ma'am, that wasn't her birthday. Today is her birthday. Like, what? Then she said it slipped her mind. I was like, you know what? With you, I'm pretty positive it did slip your mind. As crazy as you are, I absolutely believe it slipped your mind. I can believe that wholeheartedly. But to sit there and say it to your daughter with a straight face, diabolical. Then for you to go one step further and be like, oh, yeah, I know it's your birthday and all. I don't give a fuck about your birthday. This motherfucker gave me a cease and desist. I need you to talk to your daddy, and maybe if you talk to your daddy, he can talk to him and get him off my back. I said, well, damn. Again, no happy birthday in sight, huh? Not a happy birthday, not a birthday. Not even just, oh, it's your birthday. Congratulations. Nothing. Powerful says, I'm so glad Eva talked to Leslie the way yeah, I was too. She finally ripped into her mama. She finally ripped into her mom, and I was like, girl, I don't know why you did. Here's the thing that I will say. I was thinking to myself, like, girl, why did you do this right here, right now? Because now your mama finna go and make you look like a bad guy and a villain to your sister. I was like, oh, that ain't gonna work out in your favor. So then we see Eva. So Eva was at Uptown and she had a conversation with Andre about her birthday, right? Eva at this point, she's giddy, she's elated and happy that she had dinner with her brother. She's happy that her daddy is in her life. And she's like, she's not gonna do anything to hurt Ted or Nicole. And I was like, how do I know that that's true? I was like, exactly. Can you imagine Leslie acting a fool over new Ted? Hell no. Y'all, come on now. Y'all act like the man is just an ugh bug. He's not. He's granted, he's not the other Ted. I'll give you guys that. He's not turtleneck Ted, right? But he's not a bad looking guy. He's very handsome. Now can I see her, do I necessarily see her having the fits of rage that she's having over him? Yes and no, right? Yes and no. So yeah. Y'all say he's not ugly, but he's different. I'm fine with him, you guys. I'm cool with him. I ain't got no problem with it. I'm happy to see him. It's just a new actor, still the same storyline. I agree. Absolutely true. So, like I said, the thing about him, one thing for certain about him, he is definitely smaller. Like Maurice, big, muscular. Now Keith, I'm pretty sure Keith has muscles and whatnot, but not to the extent that Maurice got. I will definitely say that. You say I missed the new Ted as you missed Ted as well, but we just have to get used to him. So I get So you say you're saying you miss old Ted, but yeah, I mean I think we all miss the old Ted, but like I said, I'm cool. I still don't understand why they recast, but I don't have a problem with it. But again, I think I don't have a problem with it because I'm used to. I know I grew up on Keith, so I think that's why I'm okay with Keith because it's been 20 years since he played on Power Rangers. That series that he was on, it aired in 2000. So I think that's why I have a different viewpoint when it comes to Keith, right? Because I watched him from Power Rangers, then I watched him in Dreamgirls. So I think I just have a different opinion of Keith. You say, I wonder how long they are going to drag out this separation with Ted and Nicole because they're going to get back together and go after Leslie. Yeah, he's always had a small frame. Even in Dreamgirls, and I think he was a lot smaller in Dreamgirls. I think he's a little bit bigger than he was when he was in Dreamgirls, because in Dreamgirls, he was a small person. Oh, the way he did Effie. You know what? Let's just take a little segue from that real quick. Him in Dreamgirls, you took Dina and Curtis's side over your flesh and blood Effie. Cece. I ain't never forgave Cece for what he did to Effie. Because that was some foul ass shit. That was foul as hell. Back to the show. So after that, we see as Kat. So she went to go see her. She went to go see her dad, right? And she was talking to her daddy, and she was just trying to figure out, like, how did you get involved with a skank? Like, I was like, not a skank, Kat, but Kat called her a skank. I was like, hey, you entitled to feel how you want to feel about that crazy lady, right? So he was like, when it came down to, he says that when it came down to him and Leslie being together, he says that this was at the time where Nicole was having miscarriages, and he felt that, what the Leslie that we saw at the anniversary party is not the Leslie that he knew. She was charismatic. She was She was kind of like Nicole. I said, on what planet? But okay. With the new Ted, I really don't care about Nicole taking him back. Y'all are cracking me up. Y'all have me hollering. Baby never forgave Cece. Oh God, I think he was worse than Curtis. Curtis was supposed to love me. Curtis was a grimy motherfucker, but Cece, that was your damn that was your sister. And then when Curtis kicked you to the fucking curb, then you ran back to your sister. Effie was better than me. Effie was better than me because I would have never took that. I would have no. I was like, oh, so Curtis and Dina not fucking with you no more? Okay, well, neither am I. Because you kicked me to the wayside for Curtis. Again, Curtis was supposed to love me. You say, I'm torn on whether I want Nicole to take him back. I mean, I'm pretty positive Nicole's going to take him back. I don't see Nicole divorcing him, especially with all the people in her corner basically telling her he's a good guy, right? So I don't necessarily see Nicole divorcing Ted. It's going to be a while before they get back together. I will definitely say that to you guys. So then Kat asked him, if mom didn't get pregnant with me, would you have stayed with her or would you have gone with Leslie? Now, the way he answered that question, it was kind of like it was a roundabout way of him answering it. But I think in the grand scheme of things, in a long run, I think he was basically saying to Kat, like, yeah, I still would have stayed with your mom. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think that he would have stayed with Nicole if Nicole didn't get pregnant with Kat? Because, I mean, you cheated for a reason. You cheated for a reason. It was a selfish reason. He even admitted that it was very selfish, right? Not that was only one time I felt for oh, y'all be giving my girl a hard time, but I'm here for it, right? I'm okay with it. Now, we see as after that, Kat went to Uptown. She was having a conversation with Chelsea, right? And her and Chelsea were talking about it. And, she was basically telling Chelsea how she's feeling conflicted and all this kind of stuff. And that's where they're talking. And so Kat is starting to kind of put two and two together, like, Laura, this was convenient. Laura's accident was convenient for Eva to be able to come and work for my mom. So now Kat is thinking, okay, well, Eva and her crazy ass mama, one of them has something to do with what happened to, Laura. So she says, let me go tell my dad. Nicole is the nice one in the family. Everybody is more mad than her. She seems mainly sad. She does. I think that's what it is. I think if Ted had been honest with Nicole, she would have been upset with him, but she would have been upset and hurt. Because like you said, everybody else is mad. Anita's pissed off. Vernon's pissed off. Kat's pissed off. Martin's pissed off. Danny is pissed off. Like, the whole family is pissed off. But Nicole is more sad, somber, and all that kind of stuff, right? I felt for her a couple times, but she really do be irking me with doing the most. And you say, I get why she does it, but still. Here's the thing. I agree with what you said. And my thing when it comes to Kat is I get why Kat does what she does. Kat has great discernment, 100%, right? The problem with Kat for me has always been the fact that when it comes to Eva, it just comes off very classist to me. And that's been my biggest grievance with Kat. Other than that, like I've said on here plenty of times before, y'all know it's Team Kat for me. But I think that's where my biggest grievance comes in with Kat is the classist part. Because it feels like Eva is, well, she's Kat's up here, right? And Eva is all the way down here at the ground level. So that'd be my problem when it comes to Kat. Now, when Kat went to go to her dad's, he wasn't there. She was going to write him a note, but then she started texting him instead, right? So when she texted him, there was a knock at the door. She went to open the door, and it was this bitch said, "How about your almost stepmother?" She said that would never happen. So crazy ass lady comes in, talking her crazy spiel. I was like, lady, do you ever get? Here's the thing, lady. Do you ever get tired of hearing yourself talk? And then at this point, this is where Kat mentions Laura's accident, and in a roundabout way, this crazy heifer throws her daughter under the bus for something she did. I was like, damn, some mother you are. Kat is two tunnel vision when it comes to Eva. She is. But I mean, she's been right about to Kat's defense. She has been right about Eva. She's just wrong about Eva in this particular moment. We all know Eva is not the one who ran Laura off the road. But you guys, like I said earlier, let's put ourselves in Kat's shoes. Since Kat doesn't know what we know, right? Let's put ourselves in Kat's shoes. Deductive we would Inspector Gadget, right? We Inspector Gadget. Put the clues together. So you have two people who came into your family's lives, right? And destroyed your family. You have one person who is an innocent bystander who was ran off the road. But then these two strangers just so happen to come into your family's life. Wouldn't you guys start putting two and two together that, okay, one of these two has something to do with with Laura being ran off the road? So I get where you guys are coming from. She has tunnel vision when it comes to with Eva. But what else is she supposed to think? She knows it's one of those two, but her mind is strictly going for Eva, which I don't know why her mind is automatically going for Eva when this was Leslie's mastermind plan. But I guess I can see how Kat can come up with maybe Eva did this, right? Because you did go along with your mama's plan. You went along with your mama's plan. How did Kat get in the hotel room? So when Kat was talking to I didn't mention that, but when Kat was talking to Ted gave her a room key and said that she and her mom could come anytime. So that's how she got in. I don't even think it's the classist thing. They are just coming off of the interloper bulldozing their way into their family, Haley. So any newcomer, she looking at them sideways. I agree with that as well. I would be more looking at Leslie because she's she's way crazy, but maybe my bias is setting. Yeah, here's the thing. I ain't gonna say it's biased because I think from us looking at this show, we would be. I think for Kat, like I said, I think Kat suspects Leslie, but her focus is more on Eva, and it's because she doesn't like the girl. If you remember, Eva asked Leslie if she had anything to do with the girls. Yeah, she did. She did. And her mama lied to her straight to her face when she said no, she didn't. So I definitely remember that. So then I've already talked about June and that picture. So I don't know if y'all said anything in the comments in the live chat about June in the picture. Because I said that June said she didn't remember she don't know who those kids are. I know someone earlier in the comments that they think that Haley is her daughter. You guys, here's a theory that I was thinking about when I saw that picture, right? I don't necessarily know if I believe that Haley is her daughter. Here's what I think. I think Haley might be they could be sisters. Because here's what I will say. it just feels like really be saying there's more to Haley that we don't know. And like I said, that picture was old as hell. That picture was an old picture. So I feel like maybe there was two sisters in that picture, Haley and June. And I feel like maybe either Sharon and I honestly feel like maybe Sharon is their mother. Like Sharon, I feel like Sharon could be Haley and June's mother. There's some kind of connection. I don't know where the connection is, but that's just what I'm thinking. I still don't know if I 100% believe that Tyrell and Samantha are her kids. Because I think she would have said something. Unless she has amnesia, which that's possible. Which that's entirely possible. But hey, you guys will definitely tell me what you think. But yeah, it's something that I know we're eventually gonna get to, what it is with June. It's probably not gonna be this summer. It's probably not gonna be in the fall. It's probably gonna. Do I think they're gonna drag it out that long to November? I'm trying to think about believe that they would. No, I don't think they would drag that out to November. Because I was gonna say maybe November sweeps. It's gonna be a big storyline for no. Oh, you know what the big storyline could be? It could be Martin. It could be Martin's storyline because November sweep is gonna be a big storyline, and I don't know what that storyline is gonna be. Because May sweeps was Ted, and we still got a lot of secrets out there. So we shall see. But now we move on to Friday, you guys. So Friday, we found out that June had pneumonia. June had me laughing. Y'all, I cracked up. Oh my God, you guys. I realized I forgot a scene. Joey and Doug. So I didn't put it in my notes because I didn't care that much about it. But Joey finally told Doug he wants to launder his money through Vanessa's, her agency, right? Doug told him no. Joey told Doug, I need my money with interest within a week. You say, I think it's Haley's sister, and she knew she was from the streets. This whole time, that pic looked too old to be. Yeah, you guys, I think that picture is too old to be Samantha and Tyrell. I really do. So, what else were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about June, and when they said that, so Doug said she needed to have surgery. She said, surgery? You doing it? Bitch, when I tell y'all, June had me cracking up when she thought that Doug was doing her surgery with this one hand in a cast. June had me hollering. June had me fucking hollering, you guys. So yeah, she's gonna have surgery. Then we see now Ted, you done saw this woman twice in 1 week, but he saw her this episode because in Thursday's episode he met up with Andre. They were talking about Nicole. They talked about Eva's birthday, so he wants to celebrate Eva's birthday. So he went over in the words of Treese, he went over to Five Guys' apartment to see if she would come to Eva's birthday party, and she said, absolutely hell no. After what she did to me, I said, ma'am, that is still your child. That's still your child, and you say fuck on her birthday. Oh, that woman is a piece of work. She is a piece of work. But you still want Ted. But you want to treat y'all's quote unquote daughter like shit. Okay. I mean, I guess crazy is as crazy does, right? So also we see as Kat met up with Jacob, who was at the hospital, right? So she played the recording for him of Sherry, Dana, Leslie, Anna, Lulu talking about running, alluding to Eva running Laura off the road. I'm glad that Jacob told her that that's hearsay, that she could say she was being facetious or things of that nature, right? Which is absolutely true. Because if you listen to her voice, she knew she wasn't being serious, right? Then You say I don't care for about this June storyline. I know I'm pretty sure there are people that don't care about it, right? So after that, she sent him an email with the recording. And then at the end of the episode, we see as he went over to Crazy Lady's house, and that's where that episode ended. So now we'll backtrack a little bit and we'll talk about Vanessa, Nicole, and Bill and Smitty, right? So we first see Smitty. He went over to Nicole's house, right? Nicole looks good. The product placement, you guys, it'd be so funny to me to see the product placement because Tide showed up like what two episodes this week. Then Nicole with her infamous Febreze spraying it. What I will say is I love the product placement because baby Tide and Febreze don't get their money's worth. They're gonna get their money's worth, and more so than anybody who gonna get their money's worth. It is Tide, baby. Tide is like we gonna put a Tide bottle in every scene that you can think of, even if it don't make sense. Because when they were having dinner with Eva, you saw Samantha come in with that big ass bottle of Tide facing the camera. I hollered because it was so funny. Baby Tide, I'm here for it, right? You say my sister was talking about the product placement. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I love Tide when they show up because Tide is like another character in the show. So Smitty is talking to Nicole because he's trying to figure out because Martin told his family at dinner that he's not going to run for president, right? So Smitty is trying to figure out what's going on. But they do figure out that it has something to do with, the fact of their family imploding, right? But Smitty also knows that there is something else there because he talked about the dreams, which Nicole knows nothing about the dreams. So then we see as he went to talk to not Ted, but to talk to Bill, and because you guys remember, Bill made a snide little comment about Martin last week, right? So he's questioning Bill about that, and Bill is, tight-lipped about it. I was like, ooh, okay, you very tight-lipped about it, right? And so then we move over to Nicole talking to Vanessa, right? I don't know if I would be taking any kind of advice from Vanessa, a serial cheater, which here's one thing that I didn't mention. So I don't know if I think this was Friday's episode. Who was that white man that was following Vanessa? That ain't the same white man from the other episode. This is a different white man. So I don't know if Vanessa done slept with this white man too because he was in a booth behind her. Then he came up and sat with her. Then she told him, don't, like, it was weird. Not yay. Vanessa she is a mess. So Nicole then told Vanessa that she wants to sell the house. And Vanessa was like, girl, I'm not selling this house. But she told her, sit on it for about a year. If you want to sell it in a year, then I'll absolutely be happy to sell the house for you, right? Also in this episode, we saw Pamela and Danny down at the casino, and they were at the table trying to win money for their modeling agency. And I was kind of confused. I was like, but Danny, your mom and daddy got money. You can't ask your mom and which I get it. She probably don't want to ask her parents for startup money. And Pamela, what you do? Like, you ain't got no money? I was kind of confused by that. So while they were there, that's when Doug came in trying to reason with Joey. I was like, sir. Because he was so happy. Like, I went back to surgery today. So, I can pick up some extra shifts. Joey was like, even if you pick up extra shifts, you still going to be in a mountain of debt. It's going to take you years to pay me back. I was like, exactly. He said you owe him interest, sir. I don't even know how much the interest is. I don't even know how much money you took from the man, but you took a good amount of money from this man. But okay. And we also see that June made it through surgery. And that was what week is this? Week 12 of Beyond the Gates, you guys. So yeah, we'll be back. I think I'll host it this week coming up. And like I said, I've already talked to Really B about this, so she and I are on the same page. Next week, you guys will get both of our, opinions about this past week, and this upcoming week. but I think this is my week because she hosted it the last time, right? So yeah, this will be my week to host us. So we'll be back here next either next Saturday or Sunday. She and I'll talk about what day works perfectly for us. But yeah, you guys, that's week 12 of Beyond the Gates. Overall, really good week. I enjoyed it. Yes, Vanessa did sleep with him. She told him if he did not stop following her, she would cut him off. Baby, Vanessa must got some good poom poom. You say, yeah, I was confused about them gambling for money too. Like, I was so confused by that scene. But they look like they were winning. Something Doug knows nothing about. I still believe Pamela should be Nicole's best friend and Vanessa should be Danny's. I actually agree with that. And I actually thought that's how it initially was, that Vanessa was Danny's best friend. But I'm cool with how it is, but I think Pamela would be a better best friend towards Nicole, and Vanessa well, you know what? I don't know, because we know Vanessa's a serial cheater, so I don't know if that would be good for Danny. Well, hell, it ain't even good for Nicole because her husband's a cheater. Not a serial cheater, but just a cheater. But yeah, you guys, that's all we got for this week of Beyond the Gates. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications and share the video, you guys. And I'm gonna have to get off of here so that way I can go catch up on. Well, not catch up. I gotta rewatch Raising Kanan and take my notes, and then I gotta finish up The Never Ever Mess. I started that yesterday and I did not finish it. Don't know why I didn't finish it, but I didn't. So yeah, you guys, that's it. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you guys so much. And that's it, you guys. So like I said, next week, me and Really B will be back together again. And like I said, next week we'll discuss week 12 and week 13 together. And then we'll be caught up. But yeah, overall, like I said, great week, great week. And once again, congratulations to the cast, the crew, on being renewed for a second season of Beyond the Gates. And I'm gonna hop off here, you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. If you guys notice that I'm looking at the window, it's because it's really dark outside. It got really dark all of a sudden. I know that they say it's supposed to be a thunderstorm that comes through here with hail and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, fuck. I can't wait for the summer. I'm kind of ready for the summer, but not ready for the summer because I know it's going to be a hot summer. It's always hot in Texas. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna hop off of here. Also, let me tell you guys what else is coming up. So you guys know Raising Kanan season finale that aired on Friday, so I got to rewatch that. The Never Ever Mets. If you guys are into Baddies Africa, that is tonight. So that'll be up tomorrow. Also, Real Housewives of Atlanta comes on tonight. And so if I don't do a pre-recorded video tonight for Real Housewives of Atlanta, it'll just be the live tomorrow. But as always, you guys stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys later. And I appreciate you guys for spending your Sunday afternoon with me discussing Beyond the Gates. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.